germ and the bacteria, remember what we said, that nature only creates those things that complement itself in support of life. How does a germ or a bacteria support life? They never existed. Everything in nature complements. Everything complements. A bacteria, a germ, or a virus simply does not exist. It is a manifestation that is caused by erosion. But the erosion is caused by mucus, and the mucus came from the food that you eat, the stuff that they told us to eat. After all, it's been 400 years since I had food. Been 400 years since we ate anything. Because remember, when they took us from Africa, did they bring our food with us? No. They gave us starch. They gave us meat. And if you didn't eat it, they bust your teeth out. They break your teeth out. Now here we are, children of those sick people, and then we spiritual. I mean, what that word means. Spiritual. In a state of confusion, in a state of ill health. If you're going to tell me, have the nerve to tell me you're spiritual. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. To be cosmically in tune is to only indulge in those things that complement you and us. Complement your body. Once you're in that state, you accomplish anything, because I want to be on the journey for how long? 26 years, and I'm curing AIDS. So imagine if we had stayed on the journey 400 years. Put that into a meaningful perspective. If I, who've been on the journey only 26 years, is able to cure AIDS, what would we do if we had stayed on the journey 400 years? And all I did was to start eating the garbage. Sometimes. I'm you. I'm addicted with salt. I'm addicted with sugar that came from Europe. Did not come out of Africa. Cane did not come out of Africa. Because cane is also a hybrid plant. It was made. It's a laboratory product. You see? African did not eat in laboratory products. So it's so big mystery. So we go back to AIDS again. So what is AIDS? Mucus in the lungs. That's all it is. So don't get frightened. I should know. 2 males never been cured by us. But they negate us. The white man negate us. But that's right. He's supposed to, because I'm not white. But you don't know, and I'm negated by you too. Between a rock and a hard place. No, it's not cute. It is nice. AIDS is the result of your immune system being compromised. And the only thing that causes the body to go into erosion is acid. Not alkalinity, acidity. And for the body to be acid, one has to ingest foods that brings about that erosion, acid foods. That's all. It breaks down the immunological system, which is what? The lymphatic system, the blood, and the skin. That's all. So what do? There's mucus in the lungs. There's mucus in the whole system. So what a sensible person would do? No, am I a scientist? I'm a problem.
Right.
You see, I clean the shit house. Because that's all I do. Clean the shit house. Clean the colon. Clean the cells. Clean the body. And there the body receives oxygen and reproduces itself, all the cell that has been eroded. You cut your nails, they grow back. Am I right? You cut your hair, they grow back. But the difference with the hair and the nails, they are out in oxygen all day long. But the cells internally has to receive that oxygen. You see, so now what do? We de-obstruct those arteries. You know, all that milk that you've been drinking all these years? And the cheese that Reagan feed our grandmothers? You know, cheese. Do you know what you are telling a race of people when you feed their ancestors cheese? He has no respect for us. He has no respect for us when he feed our parents cheese. He's saying that we are too dumb to realize that he's poisoning our mothers and our grandmothers. That's what he's saying, that you're too dumb to realize. realize that. And she is likewise helpless to eat it. No respect. No respect. And then you tell me I'm arrogant. When I'm seeing the state of the race, I'm arrogant. I mean, I wish I was arrogant. I can't be arrogant with you. You are me and I'm you. If I'm arrogant to you, then I'm arrogant to myself. I don't love you. No, I don't love you. I am you, whether I love you or not. So we talk about disease. It's fed to us every day. Our immune system is being compromised right now. Because I'm inside this building, I can't breathe air that my parents was breathing in Africa on the plain, standing up on a hill and the breeze blowing by. I can't do that now. And I have to wear these clothes all over me and wrapped up because the police that called my parents savages would then take me to jail. I can't do what my poor parents did. I can't live healthy anymore because I have to wear clothes. Because the religion says that I am a savage. Every religion said I was a savage. Well, I prefer the non-religious position because then I could embrace everybody and go back to my parents. My gene has to be protected by the same code that coded it since creation. You mean to tell me that I'm a black man and live Chinese? Isn't that a slight violation? I am a black man and I'm gonna marry a white woman. That's another violation. Because her ovum and my sperm are not of the same electrical composition. So there is now. There is now an imbalance that will manifest later of a child that will be born and cannot relate to black or to white. You see? Don't do that. Don't do that. Ooh, that's a violation. You know, it's like taking a horse and a mule and a horse and a jackass and making a mule. A mule cannot reproduce itself. It's a hybrid product. So now I'm going to take my black sperm and unite that with a white ovum. No. A white ovum needs a white sperm. Incompatible. So when I meet a white man, hey, I respect him. I respect a Chinese. I respect an Eskimo. But now, am I not deserving of respect on the same equal basis? Am I supposed to hate the Chinese, the white, or the Arab? If I hate anyone, then who is uncosmic? I would be. No, but don't ask me to live white or Chinese because now you're violating me. And in that violation, I shorten my life. So in AIDS, what we do? AIDS? What about sickle cell? What's the difference with AIDS and sickle cell? You die from both. So with AIDS, like any other disease, we give you the same compound. To cleanse yourselves, to rebuild yourselves, to give you energy. Not to rebuild yourselves, to give you energy. That your body will regenerate and cure and heal itself. It does heal itself. But you have to create the environment that would allow the body to heal itself. That's all. So we make the compounds already. The government of Uganda has asked me to come to Uganda. I feel very good that the son of Uganda, myself, a child was taken away 400 years ago by force, is going back home to heal our people. Maybe if Africa is destroyed, what do we have left? Where do we go? Because this is ours. They let us know every day, and it's true, this is ours. We were right here, right? This is ours, and if you fight for this, well, that's a crime, because that's like knowing that someone stole this glass. You know I stole the glass, but you come and say, hey, Sebi, I know you stole the glass, but you will share the glass with me. What does it make you? You see? But we talk about religion, right? And we talk about righteousness. We talk about God. Well, just go back to God now. Who created the herbs? The Bible says that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I making this up?
No.
So what happened with the preacher when he gets sick? What is he saying about God? Don't give a damn about God, he's saying. I know for a fact he's saying that. You know why? I had a brother just died last year. Many of you in this audience knew my brother. My brother was Pastor Gay in Honduras. I said, but Pastor Gay, the book of Genesis, the book of Ezekiel, the book of Revelation said that the herbs are for the healing of the nation and the fruits are for food. And why eating this flesh, this pork? He said, you know, you were always strange. See, I know that. Very few of my friends accept me in their group because I was always strange. But in my strange world, there is consistency and there is logic. And there is love. Most of all, I love to give. It's difficult for me to receive from you. The Usha family that makes up a group of people now that has been healed or been healed. We have a family. We have a family. A family that understands. And they try to give me many things. I can't receive those things sometimes because it's very difficult. But in giving, I like to give. So I said to him, I would like to understand what zone in your head exists that you would negate God for man's position. As you said, I said the medicine that you're taking was made in a laboratory with some inorganic substance and chemicals that does not assimilate. And I explained that very carefully. It's not very difficult to understand, don't worry. My brother was taking substance that was made in a laboratory. When something is made in a laboratory, is it complete? No. It cannot be complete. It was made in a laboratory. It does not have oxygen. Any product that is made in a laboratory does not have oxygen, hydrogen, no, carbon. It's impossible. That substance could only be made by life itself. And if it does not contain the chemistry of life, they call it carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, it would not become one with you to help you. But you chose that over God, herbs. Well, you're going to die. He said, well, if I die, he said, I'm going to leave you 10 children to take care of. I said, you know, I'm going to take care of them if I have to, and I will. He said, well, that's cool. And he died. And he died in my mother's arms. And my mother said, well, this is the way he was, died. And he died. So that's why I'm afraid of preachers. They talk about God, but they do something else. And I'm not saying that. Go in the church. Go in any church in America. And you'll find out our parents have big ankles.
That's right.
And the preacher himself had diabetes and gout. In fact, I don't know why gout followed them, for some reason. Most preachers suffer with gout. And diabetes. I think it's too much chicken that he's eating. I mean, you know that God did not make that chicken. So don't get frightened. Don't get frightened. Because there's too much to this lecture that needs to be brought out that we would not have enough time, but I hope that we would share another moment together that we could hash these things out. I'm not lecturing to you. I bring a message that came from you. I'm not lecturing to you. I'm bringing a message that came from you that you forgot. But somewhere, you know, nature always preserves that one little thing to manifest again, to continue that procession, that chronology. I am black. I have, nature will preserve that blackness, whether Sebi wanted or not, because Sebi didn't want to be a healer. Sebi was too nice and quietly smoking his cocaine and snorting it. You know? Yes, he was in Los Angeles. And I didn't, healing what? Who? I mean, I want to be John Coltrane. I want a flute and I want a soprano. Couldn't blow a note, but I want to be John Coltrane. I want to be Coltrane. I love Coltrane. And I tried like my endeavor best, and I even had the opportunity to meet Coltrane many, many times. What? I didn't become a musician, but I fought like hell to be a musician. And I fought against being a healer. I put up a good fight, but I lost. Here I am standing in front of you now, talking about biochemistry. Now, in order for us to heal the body, I learned that you have to cleanse the body. And And you have to feed the body those minerals that are made up, that makes up the body. That's all. Cleanse the body and feed the body the minerals that it's made up of. Calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, and all the others. And then you'll find that a miracle happened. That's what they tell us, a miracle. Like Mildred Jones. Mildred Jones came to see us just 2 months ago, and she was in a breeding machine for 8 years with a long plastic cord. And she sat down at 12:30, I remember, because Artie was visiting me and said, ha 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 ha, eat that. I said, sit down and be quiet. And I asked the lady, I said, do you swallow? She said, yes, I could swallow. So I gave her a big glass just like this. And many of you here knows what I'm talking about. The product since Mildred Jones has been titled and named the Mostest. You know, like a little boy said the most? But it's so good. He said it's the Mostest. Well, that's what my son called it, the Mostest, so I named it the Mostest. So I gave this lady some of the Mostest at 12:30. At 12:35, she relaxed. At 12:45, she took the oxygen out of her nose. At 1 o'clock, she was snoring. Am I a voodoo man? Am I a scientist? No. I just took some herbs that came from the same environment that the black man came from. The tropics. Remember, our electrical energy is higher than anyone else on the planet because it's different. That's why we have so much carbon. You see, to make electricity, and let me say this, it's very simple. I don't want y'all to think that these things are so impossible because I, who didn't go to school, could see them and work with them as a steam engineer on the ships. I saw these things. To create electricity, all you need is what? Carbon and copper. A copper wheel spinning and carbon rubbing against it, and it creates a resonance that produces electricity. That's all it is. The more copper or the more carbon, the higher the amount of electricity. And look at us. We're nothing but that. So when we use herbs from the temperate region, such as burdock, we're not getting, it does not get enough sunlight. It doesn't have enough energy. So we go to the tropics and get the herbs that are grown in the tropics. That grow in the tropics. And you find that, voila, Mildred Jones was sleeping at 1 o'clock. Miss Yassin Nader from Philadelphia called us Sunday before last because her son is in a coma with epilepsy and he had a tube in his stomach. A coma for 2 years. Gave him the stuff, but when I walked in the door, I saw death. I said, oh no, this boy's dead. But the voice inside said, shut up! I look at my daughter, I said, Wiwa, you think there's life in this boy? She said, mm-mm. But the boy said, shut up, and gave the stuff to the woman. Then the woman came out the room and said, do you think he's gonna live? I lied. I said, yes, he's gonna live. That was not what I was feeling. And she put the stuff in the bag, and the stuff went straight into his stomach. She called 2 days later, he's up and talking. Now we come to AIDS. I didn't know I could cure AIDS. How would I know that? I don't diagnose anyone. I don't have laboratories to break down germs, bacteria, or virus. I don't do that. I just happened to be in Washington giving these people compounds that were curing all leukemia, sickle cell, which is Achilles Stroud, and a young lady said, Zelma Peterson called me and said, Dr. Sebi, I know you have cured many diseases that I could have helped, and this is why I wrote an article about you in the Financial Independence magazine. But I learned that my brother-in-law brother has AIDS, but he's at pneumocystis stage. You think it's too late? I said, don't do that. I said, fly to New York and go see Annette. Annette is in the building now with that pink dress, that flower dress over there that you always see. Annette, come forward, please. This is Annette. Annette also cures AIDS and any other disease. See, I'm just talking because they're scared to talk to you. You see, I'm a little bit bolder than them, but they know more than I do. So Annette gave her the compound. She goes to Boston that Saturday, gave the boy the stuff, That Sunday pneumocystis was gone. 2 months later, the doctor said he didn't have AIDS, that he was misdiagnosed. But what did we do for him? We cleansed the mucus from his lungs. We cleansed the mucus from his bronchial tubes. Every disease, you could attest to that. Every time you're sick, you have a lot of mucus coming out of you. Sure, because you ate something that brought the mucus. You ate something that we were programmed to eat in the 400 years away from our mama. That's all disease is. It's not time to criticize the Usha Institute as WLIB. Well, when they go out there and ask them to see if I could talk on the radio program, they said, have they released him yet? It will be a cold day in hell when I lecture on WLIB again. Never again. You see, because that was insulting their mother. And I have very little to do with people that does those kinds of things, conscious or unconsciously. So here, this man is cured of AIDS. So again, we go back. We gave him substance to cleanse. That is potassium chloride. Potassium chloride dibasic, meaning made by nature. Not mono. Mono is made by man. Anybody here who's a chemist will know that. Am I right? Sure I'm right. So we go to the plants and find the chemicals that will cleanse away the mucus as fast as possible, as quick as possible. And then we find other herb that has phosphates to build the system, to give you energy while you undergo this disease state. And then the cells grow back.